part 6 of A Vampire Story. Forgive me, I just woke up. Please. If you haven't seen 1 through 5, they're in my playlist on my profile titled Vampires. And this one will be in there too. Before we get started, TikTok, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please don't get your panties in a wad. If you haven't seen 1 through 5, you're not going to understand this video. Go watch them. So Lauren's daddy had gotten on the wrong side of the 4-lane and got hit head on and did not make it. And Lauren gets the call from Matt, her brother. And that's not even where things get worse. She takes Tristan home with her to her town. And this is not the way she wanted her family to meet him at all. So they go to the funeral service. The mama is a wreck. She is falling apart, which we'll get into that in a minute. And they see their dad's lawyer, and he tells them to come by the office, you know, on another day when they're not grieving still. I mean, they'll still be grieving, but you know what I mean. Because they need to discuss the dad's life insurance. And she's like, great, you know, Dad let it lapse. Now, in the meantime, Donna and Matt are falling in love with Tristan too. Like, not like that, you know what I mean, but they love him. They go to the lawyer's office, and lo and behold, guess what? Daddy didn't let the life insurance policy lapse, and it was for much more than what they thought it was. So it's like problem solved. She has the money for school now, and the money to pay Matt back on the 90 grand he had borrowed before. But before they get ready to leave, and no one's told her this the whole time they've been there, Mama just went to rehab and only got out for long enough to go to the funeral. And she has to go right back because Matt had her committed because she was on some other shit. And it's getting close to where they're going to be on Christmas break, and he tells her that they're going to go to Donna's parents this year, but that she's more than welcome to come with them. But then on the flight back to school, Tristan tells her, just come home with me. You know, just come home with me for Christmas. Things are not going to be weird this time, I promise. And they decide to bring Saxton and her boyfriend. So she's back at school, she's talking to Saxton, and she's telling Saxton, I really don't want to go. And Saxton's like, fuck that, we're going. That's when she's like, sweetie, you're just too nice. She was like, they haven't met me yet. Because she is a firecracker. And she was like, yeah, but those twins weird me out. She said, I've seen The Shining. I loved it. Let's go. So Saxton calls up her boyfriend, Jason, and is like, oh my God, we're going to Tristan's for Christmas. Because at this point, they realize now that he is fully loaded. So they pull into the driveway, and their eyes are just huge. And Jason's like, bro. And Tristan's like, wait till you see the basketball court. And everybody's like, you got a basketball court? So they get there, they walk in, everybody's in like, ooh. Tristan shows them where they're going to be staying, which is directly across the hall from Tristan. And Jason's like, let's go play some ball. So now Lauren and Saxton are on their own. And Saxton, being the firecracker she is like, we're going to explore on our own. Lauren's showing her all over the house, and they come upon the dilapidated part of the house. And she's like, no one goes in there. And Saxton said, we are today. They are legit exploring this part of the house that's dusty, dingy, basically like falling apart because it's been so unkept. And they are literally going in any door that will unlock. That's not locked. Which in this part of the house, none of them are because no one goes in there, and they know this. They end up finding a staircase that leads down that is behind a door that they walk into. And they weren't ready. They go into a room that looks like it's used for medical purposes, and it's in pristine condition. Like someone uses it on a regular basis. And they kind of look at each other like, what the fuck is this? But this is getting kind of long, so I'll make part 7 when I get out of church.